Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harsh Agrawal, and this is the MIS presentation on the topic business pressures. My teammates are Siddheshwar and Shreya. So let's start with the presentation by defining the topic at hand. What is business pressure? Much like peer pressure or any other external urge to do something, business pressure consists of the external parameters that direct the business leaders towards certain tasks. The environment that this creates is a combination of social, legal, economic, physical, and even political factors that can directly affect the business activities and growth. So we've classified this pressure into the three main exclusive categories. First being the market pressures, second the technological pressures, and finally the pressure that the society enforces, which is also referred to as the legal pressures. The three of us will be explaining one domain each. So coming to the case study that we have picked up, we picked up contrasting study of two companies, that is Kodak and Kellogg's. If you search the web for these companies, the article that defines Kodak opens up with saying there are few corporate blunders as staggering as Kodak's missed opportunities in digital photography, a technology that Kodak itself invented. This strategic failure was the direct cause of Kodak's decade-long decline as digital photography destroyed its film-based business model. Similarly, talking about Kellogg's, the first thing that the article opens with says it is counted as a company that stood the test of time, stating if a company can keep customers committed to buying cereal, it's Kellogg's. The company, popularized for its appearance on cereal boxes across the company, is now the world's second largest snack food company after its acquisition of Pringles potato chips from Procter and Gamble, even as late as 2012. So talking about market pressure in this whole situation, it can be defined under the main points of global economy, which is the market in which any business tries to make a profit. Ups and downs in the global economy are always closely monitored by any business. Strong competition, everyone in the industry is out to make money, so there's bound to be devious minds to keep up the competition. This results in the workforce changing their demands often and gives all the end power in the hands of the customer to make a business boom or collapse. Now, contrasting the two companies, in the late 80s and the early 90s, Kodak's management were unwilling to consider digital as a replacement for film. On the other hand, Kellogg saw its sales going low in the 80s and switched its branding to emphasize the cereal nutrition and convince as a breakfast food in order to fit the needs of the actual market at that time. In terms of acquisitions, Kodak did very little, even in the research conducted in Kodak Labs. The digital technology that was developed in Kodak Labs was largely ignored by the higher authorities. On the other hand, Kellogg's made notable acquisitions throughout the past 20 years, including many companies, divisions, and subsidiaries. So, what did this do in the long run? Today, Kodak is branded as a company that failed even after being one of the most recognizable and undisputed monopolies of its time. On the other hand, Kellogg's remains on the front page, regularly launching new products and experimenting with ideas that fit the market. Now, going over to the technological side of the pressure, I'll hand this over to Siddheshwar.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, yes.
Hello, everyone. Siddheshwar here. I will be covering the subtopic technological pressure. Before getting into it, I want to make sure that I will clear out that even the most textbook and resources covering technological pressure divides into two major subtopics. First, technological innovation and obsolescence. Second, information overload. Even though I have not at all deviated from the core idea, but I took the liberty of renaming and even extending the subtopics further so that the technological pressures can stay relevant to the organizations we cover. I will be particularly covering how Kodak as an organization failed to face these pressures and how one organization can overcome these pressures and be successful. First point, lack of innovation and becoming technologically obsolete. Here we will see how Kodak failed to face the technological pressure of technological innovation and excellence. And to understand the downfall, we have to follow the timeline of the rise and fall of Kodak. First, 1889. George Eastman founded Eastman Kodak as a company producing cameras and roll films. He first patented the practical roll film camera He believed in making photography available to everyone at a time when photography was privileged and enjoyed by a few. And the slogan of his company was, "You press the button, we do the rest." Kodak was the leading innovator, and a string of such innovation and inventions in technology are the factors that helped Kodak become the leader of the photography market and remained so for almost 7 decades. But in the late 1980s, the rise of digital photography resulted in decreasing sales of roll film cameras, and Kodak's slowness in moving to digital photography resulted in the start of the decline. Right from the late 2000s, market took down smartphones took the world by storm and rapidly started replacing digital cameras, which was the final nail on the coffin because during the string of changes of innovations, Kodak failed to innovate, change, and reinvent itself. Because when the world moved to digital cameras, Kodak was still stuck with roll cameras. And finally, when the world moved to smartphone, Kodak was still investing in digital cameras and printing technology. Finally, in 2012, Kodak filed for bankruptcy and the organization failed. Second, inability to effectively use information in the age of information. Social media disrupted the way we use information. Smartphone replaced digital cameras, and smartphone storages and social medias replaced printers and physical photographs. Even though Kodak made a surprise business move and acquired a photo sharing website called OPhoto in 2001, a photo sharing site that was very similar to Instagram. Unfortunately, instead of going the Instagram way, Kodak used OPhoto to try to get more people to print digital images. Imagine uploading your photo to Instagram and then taking the printout of the image and sharing the image with your friends. Doesn't seem practical, right? Effectively, that's how Kodak thought the world will function in the age of information. Kodak not being able to make effective decisions regarding access, navigation, and utilization of vast source of data and information available to them, and a lack of foresight only worsened their position in the age of information. Being complacent about disruptive technologies. The organization overflowed with complacency. Even though Kodak was failing to keep up with the digital revolution, they were being pleased with the existing technology of roll film technology and being indifferent to digital cameras, and with new technologies being coming to the market, Kodak was only pushed years behind their competitors. So since we now know how Kodak failed to face these pressures, we will look at some measures on how to effectively overcome these technological pressures and not to make the same blunders as Kodak. First, change is the only constant. Embrace change or powerful trends quickly instead of fighting them. To succeed in today's market, it is often necessary to be ready to change business models or strategies pertaining to technology according to technological disruptions. Kodak failed to move away from the business model of heavy reliance on roll films and printing technologies, which ultimately led to the demise. So be observant of your competitors and technological trends in the market and embrace them. Innovation. As discussed previously, embracing new technology is one effective way to handle technological pressure. But an organization can get only as competitive advantage if they enable the company to innovate or execute better than their competitors. Ultimately, setting the bar for everyone else instead of being in the background is the best strategy. Finally, learn the art of using information. We live in an age where data is generated in amounts we cannot comprehend. The data is further organized and interpreted as information. An organization will survive and compete in an environment that has rapidly changed by information. This environment is globally competitive, rapidly changing, and information intensive. Effective use of this information is what ultimately gives an organization a competitive edge over others. For example, targeted advertisements and recommendation systems, which are intensive and effective use of the system, are what drives major IT giants like Google, Amazon, Facebook, and to name a few. Even Kellogg's, a company which pertains to food industry, has successfully used targeted advertisements and recommendation systems to target specific audience groups. So to survive in this environment, we have to understand and effectively use information. Now I am done with my presentation regarding technological pressure. Shreya will take over now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Shreya. I would be covering the subtopic of on social pressure and would provide an overview of how Kodak failed to overcome the social pressure. On the other hand, Kellogg succeeded doing the same. So I would be starting with how Kodak failed in the first place. So Kodak has experienced a nearly 80% decline in its workforce, loss of market share, a tumbling stock price, and significant internal turmoil as a result of its failure to take advantage of new technology. The challenges faced by Kodak were Kodak's middle managers, culture, and rigid bureaucratic structure hindered a fast response to new technology, which dramatically changed the process of capturing and sharing images. In order to change its organizational structure for the improvement of market share, Kodak products developed was targeted on high-priced products which were used in professional markets. It reflects Kodak's lack of concentration on the consumer market and therefore a loss of money in this market. The potential solutions that Kodak could have adopted was to promote their products. They should have continued advertising their products to remain in consumers' mind when they go to purchase a product and also to cater to every type of audience. On the other hand, Kellogg's, which was initially the initial foray of Kellogg's into the Indian market, was considered to be a failure, although it's now doing well in terms of both market share and sales. So the challenges initially faced by Kellogg's were there was little appetite for breakfast cereals in India in the early 90s, although we used to consume milk as a regular part of our Indian diet. Kellogg's needed to establish a market for the products if they wanted to win over the Indian consumer. Most analysts concluded that the brand was overconfident and overlooked many critical cultural insights that would explain why the market wasn't ready for the breakfast cereals offered. It seemed that the pricing was too far high to be a regular grocery product, explaining the lack of repeat sales. Other critics also claim that the marketing strategy of Kellogg's also implied that the Indian breakfast was not nutritionally sound. Essentially, Kellogg's offered a product that failed to match local breakfast habits and expectations and was priced twice as its local competitors. So the solution that Kellogg's adopted was Kellogg's reduced the price of the products and began to offer a wider range of product sizes to appeal to different customers. The brand also localized its branding and advertising approach to make it more acceptable. Messaging was also changed to reposition the cereals as a fun choice rather than just a nutritious one. This approach may have been more successful than the brand's previous attempt to imply that the traditional Indian breakfast was not nutritious. Kellogg's took the decision to localize its flavoring and choose brand names to appeal to the Indian public. The products were no longer positioned as premium products. This was done in order to make them a regular rather than a one-off buy. What's generally agreed is that Kellogg's was too confident when it entered the market and didn't do enough research on local taste and habits before plunging in. While the company has now turned its performance around, it has done so by trying new things, but above all, by localizing its offering and message to suit the market. The next part would be presented by Harsh.
Right. Thank you, Siddheshwar and Shreya. So to conclude this topic of business pressure, relating it to pressure in general, the common belief of dealing with it is to elevate your performance by just quote unquote do better. Yet somehow this hardly works out. We begin to overthink too much about the task at hand and what others think then we place even more pressure upon ourselves to perform. So we suggest 4 main remedies for a toxic mindset like this, which can at times seem inescapable. So first is focus on the fundamentals. You never really become better in the moment. Instead of focusing on the pressure of the moment, focus on what you already know, on the content and the skills and the knowledge that put you on the forefront in the first place. We saw this in context of Kellogg's and Kodak, as we saw that Kodak couldn't evolve with the times, whereas Kellogg's rebranded itself, tried to adapt, and never left its fundamental roots to begin with. Second, redefining the value of pressure. Rather than seeing the pressure of the moment as a threat towards your self worth, look at it as an opportunity to challenge themselves and have fun with it. That's what Kellogg's did and continues to do. It experiments with the market regularly, comes out with new products, which may or may not fail, but they have the courtesy to do so. Third is to reaffirm yourself. Self confidence and self efficacy are proven methods of betterment. And finally, reframe the task as temporary. The often self imposed pressure of performing well often comes from the limiting belief of this is it, this is my one and only shot at success, when it usually isn't. More so, the company needs to see a road full of opportunities rather than a dead end. We saw this in the case of Kodak, where they kept doubling down on the technology that didn't work. And in the end, we all know the result. So, thank you for listening. This was Business Pressures and Dealing with Them 101, a case study. Thank you.